If you've tried everything for your knee pain, rest, therapy, YouTube exercises, and nothing's really worked, you're not alone. But there's one thing no one's telling you, and it changes everything. Hi, I'm Laurie Kurtz-Kelly, and I help active adults like you rebuild knee strength from the inside out so you can walk, hike, travel, and move without knee pain. Let's talk about something called load tolerance. This is the amount of force that your knee can withstand, that it can absorb or produce without getting symptoms. If you stay below this threshold, your knees feel fine. If you're above this threshold, then you start to get pain, stiffness, or swelling. Most programs miss this. Instead, they focus on generic strengthening your muscles, for example. Instead, what needs to happen is you need to assess and build your tolerance for load, your knee's capacity for activity. Have you ever said something like, "My knees feel fine until I sit too long"? Or, "I can walk, but hiking a steep trail will make my knees sore"? Or perhaps, "After gardening, my knees feel a little tight and they look a little puffy." These are all signs that your load tolerance is lower than your lifestyle requires. Knee pain is not inevitable, but you need to raise your threshold safely. Your knees are meant to handle force if two structures are healthy. The first is your articular cartilage, the cartilage on the end of your thigh bone, the femur, the top of the shin bone, the tibia, or behind the kneecap, the patella. The second is the fluid deep inside your knees. When synovial fluid is healthy, the fluid deep inside your knees is healthy, it's a thick, gelatinous, like viscous substance, kind of like egg whites. When both your cartilage and your joint fluid are resilient and healthy, then you can do many more activities without having knee pain. We don't want to just reduce pain. We want to reduce pain and increase your load tolerance. More load tolerance means more activity, less pain, and a knee that feels strong from the inside out. It starts with understanding what your current load tolerance is. I'm going to walk you through a way to begin understanding what the current load tolerance of your knees is. You'll want to sit on a standard chair and kind of scoot a little bit to the edge so you're not leaning back on the backrest. And then your feet, your heels are going to be hip width apart. With your heels hip width apart and your kneecaps in line with your third toes, you're going to stand up from the chair and sit down with control onto the chair 5 times. You want to make sure the motion is nice and controlled. And again, your kneecaps are staying in line with your third toes. Of course, do not push through any pain. And once you do this 5 times, think about how your knees have felt. Did your knees feel uncomfortable or not? Even a little bit of pain means that yes, there was some discomfort. If you're able to complete 5 of these sit to stand movements without any knee pain and with good form, good alignment, meaning you're not leaning to one side or the other, your kneecaps are in line with your third toes, you just have controlled movement, you're not plopping down onto the chair, you can do this and you can say, okay, my knees felt totally fine, there was no pain or no discomfort whatsoever, then you know that each of your knees has a load tolerance of 50% of your body weight or more. But if you've gotten any type of discomfort or signs of like just a little bit of pain in one or both knees, then your load tolerance of one or both knees is below 50%. When the load tolerance of your knees is below 50%, it's more common for you to get knee pain. So things like sitting down on the couch or standing up from a chair without using your hands, going up and down stairs, squatting down to get something off of the floor. All of those activities that seem rather benign may be causing your knee pain to worsen. regardless of what your load tolerance is, but especially if your load tolerance is lower than 50% of your body weight on one or both of your knees. I recommend improving the viscosity, improving the health of the fluid deep inside your knees. And there are a couple of ways that you can do this. You can stand leaning against a wall with your heels roughly 12 to 18 inches away from the wall and with your heels in line with your knees and your hips. And in this position, with your knees almost straight but not locked out completely, you're gonna raise your forefeet. You're gonna hold this for a full 5 seconds. Now, what you're gonna feel when this is happening is the muscles on the front of your shins working. But what we are encouraged about is that by engaging these muscles, and it's going to be very subtle, it's going to happen automatically, you don't have to work to make it happen. When these muscles engage in response to lifting your forefeet up off the ground, that's going to create a thickening effect deep inside your knees. The second way to thicken the fluid deep inside your knees is to sit or lie down or recline with your legs straight, typically with a rolled up towel roll underneath your knees or a small pillow underneath your knees. Whatever makes this feel good or neutral, it needs to feel comfortable. There shouldn't be any discomfort while you're doing this. So in this position, first you're gonna tighten your core. And the way I like to cue people to do this is think about having a candle at arm's length, blow out the candle so you're exhaling quickly through pursed lips, and notice what you feel. You should feel some tension on the front of your abdomen. You're going to maintain that tension, and then you're going to squeeze your glutes together. As you squeeze your glutes together and your core remains engaged, then you're going to tighten the muscles in the front of your thighs. Now, this doesn't have to be a really strong contraction because we're not after muscle strengthening yet with this exercise. So you're tightening these muscles. You're going to feel the back of your knees gently press into the pillow or the towel roll, whatever's supporting underneath your knees. Notice my heels stay resting on the surface that I'm sitting on, and then you're going to stay in this position with these muscles contracted for a full 5 seconds. Then you'll release everything. So it's contract here, squeeze your glutes together, squeeze your bum together, and then tighten the muscles in the front of your thighs to push down into the towel roll gently enough that your knees feel good or neutral as you hold these contractions for a full 5 seconds. This too has been shown to thicken the fluid deep inside your knees. And thicker fluid is going to provide more comfortable knees. It's going to provide better lubrication and cushioning inside your knees. If you're working with me, I'll be helping you improve the viscosity, improve the health of the fluid inside your knees. But I'll also help you strengthen the cartilage inside your knees, the surfaces inside your knees. When I know your load tolerance, when I know the amount of force, the amount of load that your knees can tolerate without getting pain, then I can customize a plan and specific exercises, the right type and the right amount of exercise to gently apply forces to your knees. Then we'll gradually increase the forces and progress the exercises so that your knee cartilage gets stronger and you're able to go back to your activities without getting knee pain. So for example, let's say your right knee has a load tolerance of half your body weight, of 50% of your body weight. So anything beyond that on your knee and it makes it hurt, makes it painful, either during or afterwards. If your load tolerance is 50% or less, you need it to be higher to be able to go back to things like stairs and hiking where you're bending and straightening your knee with pressure on it, with load on your knee, if you want to be able to do those type of things without getting pain. So with your load tolerance at 50% or less of your body weight, I'm not going to recommend that you go to the gym and do traditional squats. And I'm certainly not going to recommend at first that you do squats and hold any type of weight, whether that's dumbbells or a kettlebell or a barbell, because that's going to put way more load on your knee than your knee can tolerate, which will not only make your knee more painful, but it'll actually make your knee weaker, and it'll make your load tolerance decrease. I have a video series on the Better Knees YouTube channel called Pain-Free Squats, and you may find those videos helpful. And then regardless of what exercises you start with, you're going to need to gradually make the exercises more challenging over time so that the knee cartilage, your knee cartilage, becomes stronger and healthier. I help active adults build better knees without surgery by providing customized plans that allow you to enjoy your favorite activities. If you're curious about this, learn more at betterknees.com/method. Thank you so much for watching. Now you're ready to check out my video series, the Pain-Free Squats playlist.